we're gonna be getting into one of the more recent purchases we've got or picked up. The 79 C10 Bonanza. It's the first Bonanza we've come across and been able to buy. So anyway, first thing we do before we get anything else going on it, we got to swap these wheels and tires out because these are really just used to get it by one test drive. Is this, you can see this one right here almost blew out on us.
Yeah, it's showing cords a little bit there, but just nothing too major.
Halfway through the drive, it kind of started, felt like we was running over a bump, so it didn't. We're gonna get these tires and wheels swapped out, pull this thing outside, and then do a full walk around, go through it, what all we've done to it so far, and what our plans are. Got our new wheels and tires put on there, which if you notice, it's the same wheel. It's a 15x8 rally wheel with just a cheap set of tires on it, just to get this truck drivable right now. But we do have the rings for them. We just haven't put them on there yet. They're Amazon rings and just Amazon hubcaps and lug nuts. Nothing special about them. Just to get the truck a set of tires to drive it. So anyway, we picked this truck up probably a couple months ago. Hadn't had time to do a whole lot to it so far, or yet. But the body of the truck, it's exactly how we got it. It's got primer spots on it. It's got, I think this is rust killer stuff there. It's kind of an orange look to it.
But
on the color.
It's just in random spots on the truck, but
mostly that one bedside's got primer on top of the bedside. But what we've done to the truck so far, we bought it. It only had reverse and I think low gear in it. So we pulled the transmission out, turbo 350, have it built, get it back in, put a starter on it, and then
plugs, wires, distributor cap.
Yeah, all that, plugs, wires, distributor cap, just a basic tune-up.
And a carburetor.
And other than that, we've done nothing to the truck, other than put these wheels and tires on it. But if we get around here, look at it. It is a 79, I said earlier. It's probably one of the most solid this year truck we've seen. We'll show the cab quarters and stuff. That's one reason why we bought it.
It's the main reason we bought it.
Solid cab corners, rockers, just got surface rust on tops of them.
Yeah. Same thing with this rust kill here. There's probably just surface rust there, and he sprayed that on it to keep it going from any farther. But
I mean, the body's straight. We had it up on the lift earlier when we put a transmission in it. We didn't see any Bondo in it, but you know, it's a really solid truck. There seems to be so far. One thing on these are the hoods.
Yeah, especially on these 73 to 80.
Yeah, the hoods. The hood bow when you shut them because the spring,
right in here.
The hinge set up on them. It just barely has a bow, and it just barely sits up higher than the fender on this side. Just barely, nothing.
Yeah.
But anyway, something else in the truck, and we got it. Had a piece of chrome right here.
Actually, I think it's still in the bed.
But you can put those.
This right here.
With that piece of chrome on the front, it would trap water behind it and cause it to rust right there. But
Thankfully,
one of the first things we took off.
somebody was using their head that day. They put duct tape behind it. That's really
The duct tape more than likely saved the front of that hook from getting rusted. So
from keeping this thing from sitting up there and rubbing up against the paint and
yeah, doing
rubbing
that.
through it. But
Other than that, the back of the bed right here is really the only spot that's got rust in it.
just
The tailgate solid on it too. But
usually the tailgates are completely rusted out. On some of these trucks, there's just a few little places here and there, but really in that corner back up in there is really the worst place on this floor. The rest is just
none of it
spots.
is.
None of it's
Through it either. It's
yeah,
just
none of it's
surface
structural.
right now.
Yeah.
Alright,
And something else about the truck is the trim on here. All the trim is here besides this one little bottom piece on the tailgate, and we actually have a
yeah, we just actually bought a tailgate the other day that had that piece of trim on it, so we'll probably take it off, put it on here.
but all the trim on here, it's all here. Most of it's in pretty decent condition, pretty straight, but
The interior of this truck here, I mean, I'd say it's average for what these trucks should look like. The carpet obviously needs a carpet, seat recovered, needs a door panels,
Dash
needs a pad.
just about everything. But I mean,
You can expect that it being math, 41 years old.
quick math.
But other than that, I mean, our plan for the interior hopefully is to kind of do a similar to what we've done to the K5, which we'll show with. See what we've done to the K5. Our plan on this is to leave the body like it is and make the inside under hood and underneath the truck nice. And we went in here and painted the door jambs, painted the dash. Every piece in this interior is new
New dash pad,
or had been painted.
new door panels. We still got to get the seats
A
recovered.
new carpet. The seats is the only thing that has not been redone yet, but
They will be soon.
as you've seen the K5, that's kind of our plan right now. Because if we're going to drive these trucks, if we paint one, we're not going to drive it because we'll be afraid it'll chip here and there. I mean, just how it is. But if we leave the outside like it is, just eventually maybe fix these primer spots, try to blend them in, or possibly have to fog the whole truck. We don't know exactly what we're going to do with that yet, but the interior, we'll probably put a new carpet in it, dash pad, seat recovered, and probably respray all the inside of the cab.
And the dash and all that.
Yeah. The door shuts like these trucks normally do. That was a
Yeah.
little bit harder than some of them. Alright, under the hood here is just a GM small block 350. It's actually a good wrench motor, which we believe was put in probably in the 80s. From
Yeah.
what we can tell. It seems to be a good running motor. I mean, we've had no trouble out of it yet, which
After we done the tune-up on it.
yeah, we hadn't drove it a whole lot yet either. So turbo 350, I said that earlier, but
Oh, and when we pulled the 350 out, we looked up and got a free snap-on wrench. So
yeah, it was an older one too, which
I mean, free tools are always nice, but
kind of made us assume it was done in the 80s, probably when they put the motor in it. But I mean, other than that, it seems to be a pretty solid running motor right now. I mean, it's got all new brake calipers on it. We noticed too, brake lines. I think it's got new wheel cylinders in the back. All that was done when we got it. We kind of just checked over it.
and for some reason this does have the 4-core radiator in it, big block radiator.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if they just optioned for that or if somebody had put it in somewhere down the line. But now getting into the trim of the truck, as you can see, it's a Bonanza, which really we never really seen or heard of a whole lot of a Bonanza before we bought this truck. But doing a little research on it, the Bonanza was actually based off of the Scottsdale trim package, and you actually could get the Bonanza in 3 different levels. You had like tilt steering wheel, variable speed wipers, and just small stuff like that. And then with trim level B, you got like tinted windows and AC and all that. And trim level C, which this truck is the highest you can get in a Bonanza, it's got cruise control,
Power windows, power locks,
all that kind
delayed
of good
wipers.
stuff. Delayed wipers, all that kind of good stuff. And there's a couple different seat cover options with the package C and all that. And you also got the cargo lamp. And the Bonanza is actually kind of a rare truck, because the Bonanzas, they only ran from 76 to 80, and they was made in the last few months of the production run, trying to move as many trucks as possible to make enough room for the next model year. And yeah, the Bonanzas. But now the GMC, the Royal Sierras, they're even more rare than the Bonanzas are in the higher
So
trim package.
Royal Sierra is equivalent to Bonanza.
The Royal Sierra is equivalent to the Bonanza, and they go for a pretty good amount more than the Bonanzas do. But the package C Bonanza, like this truck is equivalent to a Silverado, not quite a Cheyenne. You could get the Cheyenne wood grain trim on the sides, or the Silverado. So now that we've told you a little bit more about the truck and Bonanza and all that, I think we're gonna go for a little test drive.
Try the new tires out.
Yeah, try the new tires out.
Hopefully they don't bounce us this time.
Maybe they ride a little bit better than that right front did, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see. Something else on the body of the truck. They put the late 80s models mirrors on this truck for some reason. It should have had the smaller, shorter mirror on it, which on this year truck I probably would have rather had, but it is what it is. And if you go back and put the smaller mirror on there, it's going to leave bolt holes in here, and you'll have to weld them up. And I don't really know if we want to exactly do that with this truck or not. All right, we're here on the test drive.
Yeah, it's actually surprising. I mean, it's driving good. I mean, it holds itself on the road. It barely pulls to the right. I mean, these tires helped it out as much as anything else did, but
yeah, it also helps when you're not running on a borderline flat. But
you're running on the wire already coming out of the tire. So anyway,
but yeah, it's running good.
So far, doing really well. I mean, transmission, we've already tested it out, but never got to really get into it, and we did now. And I mean, it's handling
Pretty well. Just open her up a little bit right here. Oh wow, that was some serious acceleration right there.
It was.
All right, well, I guess we're gonna finish up this test drive here, and we'll see when we get back to the shop.
I mean, we can't complain. I mean, it done better than both of us thought it would. I mean, it rides the best it has since we've got it. So, runs and drives good, handled good, stays straight in the road. Steering wheel is a little bit turned to the right when it's straight, but that's nothing, you know. But other than that, as far as what we plan to do with it from here, I mean, obviously we're gonna lower it. Everything else, we either lifted or lowered it. So we're gonna lower the truck. Don't know exactly what we'll start with yet.
Nothing too crazy though.
Nothing like the K5, but
it will probably stay on these rallies for a little while when we lower it.
yeah, just till we decide
Exactly what route we want to go with the
I'm gonna go
wheel.
with it. I have an idea of what wheel I'm gonna put on here, but we'll see how it goes. But other than that, I mean, solid truck, can't complain. Square body, you know.
Can't never have too many of them.
Can't have too many of them. You know, next thing to expect on here, we're gonna lower it. You know, we'll have a full video on it, but our other projects, like our last video, this 87 K10, update on it. We actually had to pull it out of the body shop, or our one hole that, we get to put our personal stuff in down there. We sacrificing this truck right now
For something else.
something else, kind of a surprise thing coming up. So next couple videos we'll see it, and kind of a pop-up little build we had decided to do, and if we don't jump on it now, somebody may beat us to it. So,
But like you said, we did get a hood for this. It's
we got
in
an
prime.
OEM hood, which is a used hood off of another truck. Took it down to metal, primed it back up. Gonna start our body work on top of here now, but other than that, the bed is done in this truck, just ready to paint. And we got to take the rest of the truck down to metal, get it primered, and go from there, which this is a solid truck too. But
We will be back on this build
back on this pretty soon, hopefully.
pretty soon.
It's gonna wrap this up. Also, expect a video on this K5. I've been meaning to do it for a while. We just haven't got to it. I'm gonna do a complete overview on what's been done to it.
And what's next for
What's
it
next
too.
for it too. A lot of stuff coming in here. A lot of Squarebody stuff, especially we said our last video. Other than that, we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you in the next one.